Hi, this is Sherry, and I'm here to help you transform your consciousness from limitation to a consciousness full of prosperity. And with the use of this program, your limiting beliefs may melt away so that you will have no choice but to create success, abundance, money, or whatever it is that you are wanting. So let's begin. What you're going to do is you get out a journal and you write down a goal that you'd like to achieve. And after you have your goal written down, I then want you to write down one thing that holds you back from reaching your goal. Okay? So after you've written one thing that holds you back from reaching your goal, your next step will be to discover what the limiting belief manifests when you believe it. In other words, this step is going to allow you to see if believing this thought helps you or hinders you from achieving your goal. What you do is you take a couple of slow, deep breaths, and as you relax, imagine living your life while you believe this thought. Gently notice what kinds of things you do when you believe this thought, and what you will do tomorrow and next week, or for the next 5 years if you continue to believe this thought. Okay, so you're going to go in your mind, and ask yourself those questions. And really take the time to meditate on it so that you can consciously realize the effects of this thought. Okay? As an example, one thing that holds me back from reaching my goal is I don't know how to achieve it. I don't know how to do it. Okay? So in order to discover what I manifest when I believe the thought, I don't know how to do it, I'm going to take a couple of deep breaths and relax, and then I'm going to imagine myself living my life while I believe the thought, I don't know how to do it. And I notice that when I hold this thought in mind, I begin to feel discouraged. I feel a little depressed. I feel like I can't. I feel blocked. I feel some pressure on my chest. When I believe the thought, I don't know how to do it, I notice that I have a tendency to give up. I stop myself. I don't want to try that hard. And even when I look back at a time in the past when I believed this thought, I had the same tendencies. I stopped myself. Um, I had low energy. And most likely, if I continue to believe this thought, I will continue to do the same things and feel the same way. I I also notice that I don't treat myself very well when I believe this thought, and it doesn't feel good to believe this thought. I notice that my shoulders have a tendency to slump forward, and I don't walk with confidence. My voice doesn't have much confidence. And this happens when I believe this thought. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing that I just did, okay, for your own thought and your own experiences. And when you're done and you're finished writing and discovering as much as you would like, you're going to go on to the next step. So you're going to ask yourself if believing this thought helps you or it hinders you from manifesting this goal. Okay? If it hinders you, you're going to ask yourself if you have to continue to believe this thought. Do I absolutely have to believe this thought? Of course not. Okay? Next, you're going to ask yourself if you want to reach your goal more than you want to continue to believe this thought. Do I want to reach my goal more than I want to believe this thought? Yes, of course I want to reach my goal more. I want to live life more. I want to experience life. I want to really go for it more than I want to continue to believe this thought. Just realize that you can go back and believe that thought at any time that you want. Okay? So next, you're going to choose a thought that will help you create, manifest, or reach your goal with as much ease as possible. Okay? So when you're pondering a new thought to think, you're going to choose a thought that resonates with you, inspires you, uplifts you, encourages you. This thought will allow you to feel stronger, better, and happier. Okay? You don't have to feel the best you've ever felt when you think this thought. You just have to feel better. So once you find this new thought, you're going to go into your own mind and you're going to discover what this thought creates. What feelings are generated within your body? And what do you do when you believe this thought? What kinds of things happen to you when you believe this thought? What kinds of things does the universe orchestrate for you when you believe this thought? The intentions is to see if believing this thought hinders you or helps you to reach your goal. So when you're ready, again, you're going to take a few deep, slow breaths and relax as you hold the new thought in mind. And notice how you begin to feel when you believe this new thought. And just write it down, okay? So gently notice what kinds of things you do when you believe this thought. What will you do tomorrow, next week, or the next 20 years if you continue to believe this thought? To continue on with my personal experience, remember, my limiting belief was, I don't know how to do it. Okay? And my new thought to believe that resonated with me is, I don't know how yet, but I'm willing to find out. So I take a few breaths and hold this thought in mind, and I notice that I begin to feel excited, exhilarated. I imagine myself asking questions, doing research. I wonder how other people do it. What kinds of things do they do? I feel a complete shift in my energy. I imagine myself getting out and trying new things. I have new ideas. I feel inspired. I'm even willing to fail because I know I'm not supposed to know how. I've never done it before. Okay? So you do the same thing. Just take time to write down as much as you can. The goal is to open up your mind to discover the impact the thought might have on your life. Okay? Notice all the reasons you have to think this new thought. Does it serve you better for reaching your goal? Can you see yourself reaching your goal if you were to believe this thought on day in and day out? If not, experiment with another thought until you find one or a few that help you reach your goal. Okay? And when you're done with that last exercise, repeat these steps to bring up as many limiting beliefs as you can for this goal. And use it on other goals and goals in the future. And experiment with other questions to discover your limiting beliefs. What are you afraid of if you were to reach this goal? What rules do you have to break in order to reach this goal? Will anybody disapprove of you if you reach this goal? And so forth. Just bring up limiting beliefs, question them, see how they affect your life, and choose a new thought to believe. Okay? So once you have the new thought that you're going to be using on a daily basis for our last exercise, I want you to go even a step further. Okay? So when you wake up in the morning, before you get out of bed, you're going to daydream about your goals while you're believing your new thoughts. Imagine yourself doing whatever it is that you do, talking to whoever you talk to throughout the day while you're believing this new thought. Just notice how you live your day out. Imagine how your day ends. Okay? Get excited about the day. And when you're ready to get out of bed, do so and start your day. And throughout the day, if you notice any limiting beliefs creep up in your mind, write them down. And if it's a new thought, do the exercise on them. Okay? Or if it's a limiting belief you've already worked on, take a moment and consciously notice what you will manifest if you were to continue to believe this thought. And watch your mind effortlessly want to let go of this thought. And then allow yourself to think the new thought, just for a moment, until you feel your energy shift. The feeling shift gives you the indication that you have activated the new thought. Okay? Now, when you go to bed at night and before going to sleep, again, daydream about your goal and purposely see yourself living your life, taking action, and reaching your goals as you believe the prosperity beliefs. Okay? And then go to sleep. Okay? Keep a journal and write down all the great things that happened to you as a result of believing your new prosperity thoughts. Notice the actions you take. And what do you do differently now when you believe these new thoughts? Write down what the universe brings to you. Write down how much fun you're having and how exciting life is now as a result of believing the new thoughts. This will give you confidence in the law of attraction and the power of thought. And it will give you a reason to choose better feeling thoughts on a consistent basis. Celebrate life on a daily basis, and especially when you reach your goals. And when you reach one goal, set another goal and keep on creating. Okay, that's it for now. Happy creating, and you can visit us on the web at www.secretpowerofthought.com.